All right, and we are back. Welcome to another live Pen to Gas podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to sit down with Brianna Cutler today. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, listen, the honor is all mine. It was so awesome to finally meet you and your family at VIR.
Yeah, I was so excited that you were there. That was so fun. Total surprise. He just showed up at my tent, but I was super excited.
I did out of nowhere. Boom, here I am. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, absolutely amazing. Well, listen, we have a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right into it, okay? Tell
All
us
right.
where your adventure started on two wheels.
Okay, so I will say, I'll preface this. I don't have as much two-wheel experience as a lot of the young riders out here. A lot of these people were put on a motorcycle at 4 years old. Um, I actually started more off-road with side-by-sides. I loved side-by-sides growing up, four-wheelers, dirt, trail riding, that type of stuff. Unfortunately, a side-by-side doesn't really give you a lot of feedback until it is actively flipping. And
That's your
so
feedback.
yeah, it'll insulate. It's great for a joyride, but I didn't have the opportunity to understand weight distribution, body mechanics, anything like that. So after I flipped a couple side by sides, my dad got me my punishment dirt bike, and I had that dirt bike, and I wasn't allowed to ride the side by side until I understood weight distribution. So he thought that the two wheels would help me because you're moving your body and transferring the weight yourself. So that was when I was 11 years old, was when I got the punishment dirt bike. And I rode dirt bikes for a while. And once I turned 15, I was like, I want a motorcycle and I want to ride on the street. And then my dad was like, he'd ridden bikes on the street his whole life, but once his baby girl was on the street, he's like, this is way too dangerous. We're not doing this. And that's when he discovered track days. And he thought this is a much safer way. Although the speeds are higher, it's a controlled environment. So we started doing track days, and pretty much every girl that I talked to in the paddock told me about Build Train Race. And from there, and this is when I'm like 16 years old at this point. From there, I was like, I want to be a BTR rider. I became the biggest fan. Turned 18, I applied to BTR and I got in. And now I'm here on the podcast with you.
I love it. What a journey. What a story. That's what I love about the beautiful circuses, I always call it, right? It starts with a dad and a daughter, or a son or a mom. It was funny because my mom said the same thing about me. I grew up riding my friend's dirt bikes. And when I turned 16, a week after I got my driver's license, I got my motorcycle license, taking the class at Virginia Western, the safety class. Um, so yeah, I saved up money, and me and my dad, because I said, Dad, I want a bike. I don't want a car. Let me get a bike. Well, we're gonna get you a car first, right? So I got a car my first week. Second week, I got a brand new 1996 ZX6R in high school, right? So yeah, and then my mom was like all worried all the time. But now that I'm a parent, I totally get it and I understand. You just want your child to be safe and you want to protect them at all costs. So yeah, good job, Dad. Punishment bike. I love it. That's what I'm gonna do to my boy. You know what? You punishment, you got to go ride your dirt bike. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So, applying for BTR and you finally got the acceptance letter. What was the emotions?
Well, I actually omitted something. I'll go back. I actually applied when I was 17 and I got rejected because there was no posted age limit at the time. Now there is because of me. But I applied when I was 17, and at first I got the standard just rejection letter that they sent to everybody on the email list. And it was like, thank you for applying. Thank you. We will not provide any individual feedback. But then I got an email from Scott personally emailing me, and he said, hey, normally we don't do this, but I wanted to tell you that you were actually on the top of our list, but you're a minor and we can't pick you. So that gave me a lot of encouragement because I knew I would be 18 the next year. So that summer, oh my God, California Superbike School, Yamaha Champ School, track days every weekend to try to prepare. Because I knew that there was at least a little bit of a chance that I would get in the next year. So I could well, I guess so my dad could rationally drop that money. Um, but then
Thanks, Dad.
yeah, thank you. Um, I remember getting the email. I was just laying in bed and I started freaking out. And I had recently started a new job with a uniform. And so the way I told my parents was I texted them. I was like, hey, do you guys want to see my new uniform? And they're like, yeah, come show us. So I walk up in Royal Enfield gear and they were like, oh, did you get in? And then we started cheering and whatever and jumping in circles. And it was really exciting.
That's absolutely amazing. I'm proud of you. And I know
Thank
how
you.
excited you are. It's your first year at BTR. So yeah, let's just jump into that right now. Your first year at BTR. Did you, coming in California Superbike School, all that training, obviously it helped you out a whole lot coming into your first year. Um, Talk us about the first round.
Okay.
How did that go?
So it didn't go super well in Q2. I had a pretty painful crash coming off of the straightaway, and that kind of startled me and my confidence dropped. Before then, I had never really crashed before. And so that was a shocking experience. It's kind of like a unskippable event that every motorcycle rider goes through. They crash for the first time and they get scared and they have to work their way back up. But I was a little annoyed that it was happening during my Moto America debut. So anyway, I got pretty hurt, but I got the bike fixed and I pushed through the pain and did my first race. Second race got canceled due to rain.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that's been shocking to me and very different, and I think you can see that with my performance through the season so far, is I haven't learned to trust the bike yet. Because I was coming from, track days and amateur races where I fully trust my bike. I love my bike. I know it inside and out. It's one of the best Ninja 400s in the country. It's Matthew Chapin's bike that he won the Junior Cup championship on.
Legend.
I know that bike is
yes.
And the Royal Enfield, when you have this vintage style, there's a lot of sensations and wind and chatter and things that I'm not used to. And so it's my process that I'm going through right now. I'm not fully over it, but I'm just trying to learn to trust the Royal Enfield. It's a great bike. It's a fun bike. There's been girls that absolutely crush it and they master it. And so I'm just trying to get there right now.
And you will. There's no doubt in my mind you will not. You will absolutely get there. And coming off of 400, obviously to the GT 650 is, the GT, it's heavier. Obviously, it's slower, right? So it's heavier to pick up out the corner. So the way you ride the 400 is not the same way you ride the Royal Enfield. So you got to adapt to that too. Of course, being live on TV and Freddie Spencer, the legend, right? And all the girls you meet, it's. Yeah, was it overwhelming for you at the beginning? Because when you show up at BTR, obviously you build your own bike, build, train, race, right? Tell us about your experience with that.
That was absolutely crazy. One thing about me, I love to be uncomfortable. I love to suffer because I recognize the growth. And so to me, this was a really cool moment, but it was hard and it was stressful and it was scary and very overwhelming. But the team did a fantastic job guiding us through it and making sure that it was a controlled learning experience. But to help you visualize, first time team all together, we're all together and we're driving to a warehouse. And we get out, there's cameras everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels weird. Like, why do they want a picture of me? So there's cameras everywhere and this garage door lifts open. And I see 4 stock Royal Enfields and the whole crew, Freddie Spencer, Scott, everybody. And then behind that was a table. We each had a table full of parts. And pretty much instantly they, say hi to us and then hit us in a circle and they all hand us a packet, a checklist. And essentially they were like, you have 5 days to build a race bike. Here's your checklist. Good luck.
And you're like,
I remember them saying like, okay, go ahead and get started now. I was like, start what? What do I do? It says like, remove back of the bike.
And you're like, what are you talking about? Remove the back of the bike. Oh yeah. And here is a Sawzall. And you're like, what do
Yep.
I need this for?
A lot of
Let me
Sawzall
show
use.
you.
So overall, fantastic confidence building experience though, because I didn't know anything when I showed up. And by the end of it, I had an intimate understanding of the motorcycle that I would be racing for the next 2 years.
That's right. And also at the track, it's your responsibility to do the chains and any changes you want to make as far as gearing and taking your tires to Dunlop and getting them changed and your tire stickers. So there's a whole lot to go into it. So you've learned a whole lot and you're still learning, obviously, because it's a lot to take in,
Absolutely.
you know? So congratulations. Super proud of you. Can't wait to see you back at VIR in August, the August 1st weekend. And let me know if you ever go back and you guys go do track days. Just hit me up and I'll come out there and we'll hang out. We'll do some live videos. But we can say that all. We're on the podcast. We're going to talk about you. So, what do you do for work?
So that's actually a great question. I have a very interesting job for being a motorcycle racer. I work at a funeral home, and I am an intern right now because I haven't graduated, but I'm in college to be a mortician or an undertaker, a funeral director, whatever you want to call it. But that is my dream job. I absolutely love it, and I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Listen, I couldn't do it, but absolutely congratulations. So I worked with a guy and he worked at a crematory one time. He's like, yeah, dude, it was super cool. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's real cool, right? It's just it's not for everybody, but bravo to you. Yeah, absolutely. So, is that something you was just always into?
No, I mean, I was never really fascinated by death, but I think that's what makes me so good for this position. I was raised with a very neutral relationship with death. Like when you die, it's done. And I wasn't scared of it because of that. It wasn't something that I feared. It was a part of life. And I think that it's not, I don't get scared. I mean, there's a lot of dead people, some people can't handle that. I really just view them as a vessel that their soul was in. And I don't mean that in a specific spiritual way or a specific religion, but when you look at somebody that you knew and you saw the sparkle in their eyes and the light that they brought, and then when you look at their body after they passed, you can tell that, that is just, it's not a person anymore. And so I really am just, I view it like that. And to me, it's not that scary.
Yeah, I mean, good on you. Because again, like I said, I don't think I could do it. I just don't. But anyway, and then the cadet, being in the military, talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I was a part of the United States Naval Sea Cadet Corps, which is the Navy's youth program. A lot of people don't know that the Navy has a youth program, but it's a national thing. It's funded and it's really cool. It follows the structure of the Naval Reserves, but it's for children 10 to 18 years old. So 1 week in a month, we would go on base. I was at Norfolk Naval. We would go on base. We'd wear the Navy uniform, but we'd have Sea Cadet patches. We'd wear the Navy uniforms, follow Navy regs. We did all the same coursework. If you have any military people watching, you know what the BMRs are, and we all did those, and they're awful. We did PT tests, everything like that, and it follows the same rank structure as the Navy. It goes from recruit all the way to Chief Petty Officer, which is the highest rank that you can get in the program. I would equate that to Eagle Scout. About 1% of cadets make that. So it's a really big honor. And I was privileged enough to make chief in the program. So I had a chief pinning, just like the Navy. We have our anchors, obviously Sea Cadet anchors. But it's a fantastic program. It taught me so much. When you first join, you're just a recruit. So you have to go through boot camp, recruit training. It's shortened and it's for children. So, it's not like actual boot camp, but it is recreated to the best ability. for children to be able to learn and get something out of it, and also suffer, because suffering is good sometimes. So
I agree 110%.
yes,
Suffering is good sometimes, uh, mentality is such a big thing with racing. You had talked about earlier about, your first crash and trying to get over that mental block is what it is. Right now, you got this barrier that popped up in your head and you're trying to climb it and knock it down and get over it. But life in general is just that way too, as well, right? It's all a
absolutely.
very mental game. I want to
Yeah.
get to a couple of these comments real quick. We got Venomous Comics on here. Here we go. Yes, it is the legend herself. Let's go. My buddy Dwayne Breezy. What is up, my
Oh my
man?
gosh. Hi, Dwayne.
He says, keep it up. Keep up the great work. I love it. Aaron, what is going on? It's my buddy Aaron all the way in Cali. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. My buddy Andrew Davis. What's up, guys? Chris, let me get that hat, my boy. Nah, man, I can't let you get my hat, buddy. I can't let you get my. I actually got it at a MotoGP race. So yeah, I bought two of them. Gave one to my boy. So Dwayne says, "Go Army."
I don't know about that one.
Eli, what is going on, man? He says, "Was great racing with you last weekend."
Yeah, he's good. He's fast.
Yes, he is.
I saw the back of him.
That's all right. Soon, might not be the case. Let's
Eli
go.
better watch out.
Eli, she's coming. Keep it up. Let's go. My buddy Dan Spalding, what is going on in Ambassador Pendergast? He says, "What's up? I love the BTR program. Me too. Always been a huge fan of BTR. I think that a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's people out there that don't agree with girls racing and blah blah blah. And my whole comment to the whole thing is racing is genderless. It has no it's just whoever wants to do it can do it. That goes for cars, whatever racing, plane racing, boat racing, morgue racing if there's a thing. Let's see who can get the fastest down the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Brian, what is going on, Brian? Proud parents. Absolutely proud parents.
That's my dad.
I know. It was an honor to meet you, Brian. Absolutely. Eli says, "LOL, definitely not fast." And then Caden Brown, he said, "What is up? What is up, Caden?" He was actually there at VR that weekend too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
he's fast too.
So after, obviously, what's life after BTR? Because it is a 2-year program. Is that something you want to? Obviously, you're still be in track days and doing stuff like that, but as far as professionally racing, is that something you want to continue, or?
Well, the thing about BTR is it's almost impossible to foresee the opportunities that it's going to open. So I'm not, having tunnel vision and saying I'm going to do this, but I do have a couple unique routes that I would love to go down. Obviously, if I could pick my pace up to be a professional racer, I'm not going to reject that. But I do love race direction and race control. Like those guys up there with the radios and the screens. It's so cool. It looks like a 911 dispatch office in there. And I actually, when I was a fan of BTR at a race, just watching, I talked to the right person and I ended up in race control, and I spent the day watching the races in there. I don't think that's allowed anymore. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But they were so nice and they showed me everything. I just thought it was super cool. So I would love to do something like that, or teaching. I love instructing. I love teaching. Any skill that I learn, my natural instinct is like to take it and then pass it on to someone else. If I can be a mentor for somebody, that's that would be very fulfilling for me. And so I kind of think of BTR as like building my resume to then be able to coach or teach, whether that's in the military, trying to teach military guys to ride motorcycles safely, because they're good at the motorcycle part, but not the safe part. So, helping on that side of things, or, maybe younger people trying to get into bikes, older people, I don't care. I just want to teach somebody.
I love it. Well, I'm friends with a lot of people that own track day organizations, and they have a lot of coaches. So Yeah, I can point you in the direction and make that happen for you. 100%. 100%. I got you. I got you, Brianna.
Thank you.
See, I got it right. I didn't mess her name up. I did at the beginning and she corrected me. So there you go. I got to put it out there. Uh, and then your mom, hi, mom. It was an honor to meet you. She says, you are amazing. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Thank you,
100%.
Mama.
So as far as 2025 goes, you showing up to obviously everything's brand new, all the tracks, the whole nine. How do you personally get to know a racetrack? YouTube, playing video games, or all
Yeah,
the
so
above?
I found a video game. It's called Ride 5 and it has a couple tracks. Do you like Ride 5?
Love Ride 5. Such a fan. I play it all the time.
It's kind of hard to learn. I haven't really been able to stay on the track, but I guess that reflects my real riding as well sometimes. So,
Listen,
um,
racing on a video game is a lot harder than it is in real life on a
yeah,
track for sure. The
it
dynamics,
is.
yeah, yeah. I feel
Yeah,
you.
and that had Road America, and that helped so much. Road America, it's a long track. Everybody knows that. But the good thing about it is there's a lot of like things. There's bridges and landmarks and buildings close to the track. And so it's really nice for memorizing. At least for me, that's how I know where I am on the track. But it does not have the ridge. So, and obviously I've never been to Washington. I live in Virginia. I have no reason to be over there. So I've never been to the ridge and it's not on Ride 5. So I've been rewatching YouTube videos, and then what I do is I try to draw it on paper and then like make my own track map, and then I see if it's accurate. Another thing I'll do is I will look up a lap time, a general time that it should take me to go around the track in real life. And then I close my eyes and I just pretend that I'm on the track and I visualize every part of the track. This is what Scott Rybo told me to do, by the way. I'll give him credit for this. And then I open my eyes and I see, is the time in that range of, like a realistic lap time. And that means I've memorized the track.
I love it. Yeah, there's been so many people that do the same thing. I'm guilty of it. It's a good way to also get your mind in that mode when you're actually there at the track to go out and do what you got to do, right? So, with that being said, how do you prepare, as I always call it, for battle, right? It's like Leonidas going out against the 10,000, Persians, and well, there's not 10,000 girls out there, but you know what I mean when I say that. So,
Yes.
do you have any like rituals? Do you like, left boot on before my right boot, anything like that?
I do. It's pretty centered around music for me, just like the rest of my life. Everything I do, my life is just intertwined with music. And so that is really what helps me. I have a specific playlist that I listen to, and I try to put my headphones on about an hour before. I do physical warm ups like jumping jacks. I think everybody does that, to get their heart rate up. I visualize the track, but it definitely is important to me. Some girls I look around, they're like taking pictures with fans. I guess they're just superheroes because they just get on the bike. They're having fun and they're like, oh, time to go race. So they put their helmet on and they go. That's not me at all. I need like an hour and 30 minutes to really get in the zone and be able to focus.
Yeah, it's some people can do it just like some people are straight fast right out the gate and everybody's trying to play catch up the whole time. Yeah, it's I always like to take a little time and be in my own little quiet place, stretch, yeah, do some jumping jacks, all that good stuff too. Music, sometimes it just depends on what mood I'm in. If I listen to any music before I go out on the track at all, sometimes I just like the quietness, just to sit there still, right, and be in my own head, so to speak. I try to clear it the best I can. So I got ADHD, and I don't take no medicine. I just fight constantly right here, right, and there's only certain times that I'm super hyper focused on things. Obviously, the podcast and motorcycle racing. Other than that, yeah, I could be literally sitting there watching TV and be 30 minutes into it and go, I have no idea what's even going on. Yeah, I
Yeah.
might be watching it, but I'm not watching it here, right? So, yeah,
Well,
go ahead. Sorry, Brianna.
oh, I was going to say sometimes that happens on the track for me. And that's why it's very important for me. to focus, because I find myself sometimes going through the motions because I have the muscle memory. Like I can safely go in, do a lap perfectly fine without actually paying attention at all. And I'm just not very fast with it. And so that's a big thing that I've been working on. Actually, the opposite. For me, when I am in stressful situations or a crisis or whatever, my mind slows down, which is really good. It's better than the opposite. When my dad had a really bad crash, I was able to, not be emotional, and I was able to get the logistics sorted out, everything like that. And so it's a great trait, but I'm at the point in my racing now where I calm down so much when I'm on the track that I lose that intensity and I lose that drive and that anger and that I want to kill this person or I want to pass them, and I just kind of hang out. And it's really, that's been my struggle right now mentally, is to be intense enough to continue and fight nonstop and not just let myself calm down, because it feels like a dance to me. I'm out there and it's like meditation. I could fall asleep. And that's really good because that means I have a lot more bandwidth and I can think about more things. It's better than being overloaded and not being able to produce any more thoughts. But it is a struggle for sure.
Oh, 100%. I get it. I get it. Trust me. It's sometimes it's hard to keep pushing yourself and not get distracted by what's going on here. I do it a lot every day. So yeah, I feel on that. I do. Yeah, but that's part of life, and I embrace it. So absolutely. So we got Breezy says such a wonderful family. Yes, they are. Elias, what is up? Let's go, Brianna. Yes, let's go. Eli says Angie and Brian are amazing.
Not me.
She said, "Not me." Yes, you are too. Come on, Eli. No, we're just messing with you. I love it. Then we got Dwayne says everyone loves Ride 5. Yes, they do. It's such a mega game. Tanner, what's going on? Tanner, my favorite racer, number 35, which brings me, how did you get your number?
Good question. Some people just pick it. That's not me. I have to have sentimental value to everything. So 35 roots all the way back to when I was 7 years old. I found Elvis Presley and I just became obsessed with Elvis Presley. I loved his music. I loved learning, all the facts. And Elvis was born January 8th, 1935. So that's where the 35 comes from. He's been such an influential part of my life. And I think being a weird 11-year-old that was obsessed with Elvis versus the other crowds that I could have been with at that formative age kind of kept me on a straight path. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that because I was busy listening to Elvis,
I love it. I like Elvis. I'll be jamming Elvis. Who don't, right? Like, and Frank Sinatra. I love Frank Sinatra. And it's funny because I'll pull up and I'll be jamming. I mean, wide open, and people look at me like, "What the hell are you listening to?" I'm like, "You don't know who Frank is?" They're like, "Yeah, they just don't get it.
They don't get it.
They just don't get it. They're not in tune with their star player, which is themselves, right? Like, let's just be honest." So, absolutely. Eli says some of those corners in Ride 5 are harder in the game than real life. I don't think I've hit the S's at Road Atlanta properly one time yet. Yeah, Road Atlanta is one of those tracks. I had a hard time talking. It's a tricky track. It's a long track, but it's also a track you can actually get some rest on. VIR is not one of those tracks you can get any rest on. The Ridge, I'm not sure. I've never been there, but I'm excited for you to go to the Ridge. So going into this, is it this coming up weekend?
Not this weekend, but
it's next weekend. Yeah. So flying out to the Ridge, do you have any personal expectations or goals that you want to reach on that weekend?
Yes. It doesn't really have to do with the track, but like I mentioned before, just trusting the motorcycle, especially after such a great weekend at VIR on my personal bike. The realizing that all of that was possible because I trusted the motorcycle, just finding a way to make the Royal Enfield fit for me, which I already did a little bit of at the very end of what track? Oh, Road America. It's in the past. Okay, at Road America, Freddie Spencer worked with me. We sat down, we had like an hour conversation about my goals, what I wanted to do better, and we decided that we were going to make my suspension a lot stiffer because a lot of that was I was feeling things that I didn't want to know, like kind of like a side by side, like don't tell me unless you're about to break traction, because there were so many sensations that I was feeling on the Royal Enfield and I didn't know which one was the bike telling me it's on the limit. So just building trust with that bike, whether that's through suspension adjustments or physical things, or if it's mental and just pushing past even when I'm like, okay, the bike can't take anymore, and just leaning just a little bit more and breaking past those barriers. I think that's the only thing that's really going to make me go faster at this point.
You'll get there. You will figure it out, my friend. 100% you will. And one question I do have for you is have you got the Waffle House sponsor yet or what, girl? Come on, let's go.
No, but for those
Boo!
of you who don't know, I love Waffle House a lot. And I just posted a video. I can't believe it went viral. I had no preparation, no script. I really do try to make my social media professional for like sponsors and stuff like that. This one just propped my phone up. I was about to go to my grandma's birthday dinner. So, I'm wearing like an old lady dress. But anyway, I started talking about how much I loved Waffle House for like 2 minutes, and it went viral on TikTok and Instagram. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but there are Waffle House executives that know who I am now. They did ghost me though, so
This girl's crazy. Block.
yeah. So I don't know where we are with that. This is like not what you're supposed to say when you're negotiating a business deal, but even if they don't pay me, I'll still rep Waffle House because I love it.
Waffle House, we got to get a sponsorship going for Brianna. Let's go. Like, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
please.
I love it. Man, I ain't been to Waffle House and I can't even remember, but I do like Waffle House. I think my go-to is the bacon, egg, and cheese. Of course, the hash browns, but I got to get jalapenos with it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like hot and spicy stuff. So yeah, the hotter the better. Depending on what mood I'm in. If I'm in the mood to where I just want to suffer and punish myself, then I want the hottest stuff they got.
Well, I don't know if Waffle House is the place to go for like spicy food, but
I'll bring my own hot sauce.
Oh, okay. You come
I'm
prepared.
that type of guy. I come prepared. Yes. Military.
I get the pecan waffle. Oh, and Instagram was flaming me for the way that I say pecan because everybody else says pecan. But I feel like, we're close to Appalachia, the mountains. Like that's how everybody says it here. I don't know if it's a dialect thing, but people were so mean to me.
Right? Come on, people. She loves Waffle House. Let's go. I love it. I think that would be awesome if they actually did step up to the plate and sponsor you, because Waffle House never been in motorcycle racing, so it's good for the sport. 100%. Abraham, absolutely right. Team Waffle House, let's go. I love it. And we both live in Virginia, people, by the way. She's actually only 45 minutes away from me. Blacksburg.
Watch out.
Uh-oh, let's go. So we got another comment all the way from Chile. Hi from Chile. Absolute performance from Insta here. Very glad I can make it.
Oh my
It's an
goodness.
honor to have you on. Thank you for joining. They say, how much bike time do you train before races?
Good question. So we've covered the build and we've covered the race of build, train, race, but we haven't covered the training. So there is a specific weekend. They flew us out. It was 3 days. We went to Dallas. We were at Crestland Motorsports Ranch, for those who are familiar. And that is the first time that we got on the bikes. So I didn't even sit on my bike after I built it, because 5 days is not a lot of time to build a race bike. We were, torquing down the last few things, and then it just went on the truck. I didn't even get to sit on it. So this was the first time that we were messing with our ergonomics, getting everything feeling comfortable and riding the bike for the first time. So, like I said, we had 3 days, but that was also a lot of classroom time. Freddie Spencer was instructing us not necessarily how to ride a motorcycle, because that's kind of expected, that that, but more so how to get thrown into the highest level of racing in the country and manage it. So that means memorizing a track map that for a track you've never been to, because we're just getting flown across the country. It means, learning how to thank your sponsors eloquently. What are you going to say on the podium? What not to say on the podium? Stuff like that. So there was classroom time, track time, and working with the bike a little bit more, like final mechanics, like I installed a quick shifter, stuff like that. So finally, to answer your question, I would say we had maybe 10 sessions for the training. And then when we actually show up for the race, we have 15 minutes. 15 minutes to ride the bike on the track before our results matter. So we have 15-minute practice, and that's it.
It's not a lot of time.
No.
Especially to a track you never been to, a bike you're still learning, everything's still so brand new. It's like mentally you're just probably screaming. You're like, But you got it. You got this. You can do this. And there's a reason why you're here.
Thank you.
110%. Bob, you are absolutely right. Let's go. I will meet everybody there. Okay, sounds like a bike meet at Waffle House is in order.
That's a good idea.
We should do it. Let's do it. We'll plan it out after the podcast. We'll plan that out. Yes, Bob, great idea, and thank you for suggesting that. So I'll put a post out, dude. We'll make it big. Yeah. Dwayne says, not pecan. Absolutely not. Come on, it is good. It's not very often I eat it, but yeah, it's I like pecans. Pecans, tomato. It don't matter, right?
Yeah, I guess the rest of the world says pecan.
Okay. I say pecan. Just like I say oil. And my wife always makes fun of me. She's like, it's oil. I said, it's oil.
Oil is one syllable. One syllable, or you're not a real man.
Facts. I like it. Let's go. So, I'm a Bison ambassador. I've been with Bison for 2 years. You wear Bison. Welcome to the herd. How did all that come together?
Well, I mean, Bison's kind of the main name that you hear in racing. It wasn't really like I had to research my options. It's kind of like just industry standard. And I was like, oh, I need a suit. Let me go to the Bison website. Didn't really look at any other ones because I loved the way that Bison was. And, I hear so many people truly backing the brand. Plus, it's a one-stop shop. I got my leathers. I got my crew shirts. I got my undershirt that I wear under my suit. It's fantastic. I think they're a great company. They're a small family business. I come from, I grew up in a small family business too. So I really respect that. And they made my suit really cool after I submitted like this hand-drawn thing on notebook paper with like some pins that I found from my backpack from school. And I like drew a little picture and I sent it to them. I was like, can you guys make this? And they did.
I love it. It's awesome. I basically just said, hey, this is my logo. These are my colors, half re-rain. And yeah, when they sent it to me, I was like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Let's just be honest. So yeah, they absolutely, Robert and Tasha, Carter, and they're absolutely proper mega, as everybody knows what I say. So it's, yeah, absolutely. Brian says, Waffle House hash brown scattered, smothered and covered, chunked, diced, peppered, and capped. I'm with you. Make that too. Place 2 orders. I'm on my way. Let's go. Oh my God. I love it. So, the rest of the year you girls got, after the Ridge, you got VIR. That's it, ain't it? Yeah. That's the last race of the year. And it went by so fast.
I know. It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't, does it? Yeah. I said it doesn't, does it? Anyway, obviously I have a problem with my vocabulary today, but it's okay. We'll work through this together. Listen, we're already 40 minutes into this. I told you it was going to go by super quick. Yeah, time flies. So I want to actually transition into the next part of the podcast where we get to know you away from the track, away from the morgue and the cadets and all that good stuff. Obviously, we know
Lord.
you. Obviously, we know you love Elvis, right? I'm a huge Elvis fan too. But tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Oh no. Okay. I would say this kind of goes with the Elvis thing, but to sum up me, I would say I have the personality of like a 95-year-old woman. Besides the motorcycle racing, I think. I love Elvis. My car is like 62 years old that I drive. Um, I know how to knit. I I like to garden. I am an old woman essentially.
I love it. I love it. Um, Chili says, "Do you like the Alaman TT, or do you prefer MotoGP?"
MotoGP. I love MotoGP, specifically Alex Marquez. I love him.
I like it. I'm gonna have to show you after the podcast. I'll show you my Alex Marquez's tank shroud that I got signed. Yeah, you'll love that
That's
for
great.
sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah, Dwayne Breezy says old soul. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love that everybody's unique in their own individual way, in their likes and the way they like to do things. It's what makes us as certain individuals. So yeah, absolutely. So with all that being said, what's your worst habit?
My worst habit, I would say I like the second task when I do something. So whether, I'll email somebody, I'll let them know, they respond to me, and then I just lose all motivation. It's always like the second thing I do. Or I put, I work up the motivation to put my clothes in the washer and then I dry them and then I get them back in my room and I'm like, this is gonna sit on the floor and I'm not gonna put it away.
I'll
So
fold them in 2 days from now. It's good. Yeah.
mhm. So
Yeah.
that's my worst habit is like procrastination, but I get like a false confidence of motivation in the beginning. And then once I actually start it, then it just goes away.
Yeah, I love it. That's hilarious. Let's see. Brian Snyder says, "Let's go." That's right. That's my buddy, man. What's going on, Ryder? Brian says, Mark Marquez 93. So there's a rivalry in the household.
A
I
little
love
bit,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Caroline says she's an amazing swing dancer.
Oh, I forgot about that. I also swing dance, like, like 1940s, like Lindy Hop, country, western
Yeah.
swing. I love dancing, like partner dancing. I think it's so fun. And while I was in high school, my friends who are watching right now, they founded a swing dancing club. And so every Thursday we would meet and swing dance. And it was great. It was good, wholesome fun. And it was so fantastic. It's fun. You get to talk to people, you get to listen to music. I love partner dancing. It's not a really big thing anymore. Before the 50s, 60s, 70s, you could go somewhere and everybody would kind of know how to dance with you. Now, if I am dancing in public, I have to go find like somebody above the age of 75 if I want to dance with them, which is fine. Again, love old people, but I think it's so cool, and I think we should bring back swing dancing.
Hey, I'm all for it. It's funny. You're like, hey, I'll be right back. I got to go buy canes and walkers and get my dance partner. I'll be right back. K
You
and
know
W,
what?
let's go. What?
I have a shower chair, like one of the ones for highly recommend, guys. You can get them at any like hospitals or like nursing homes. They're so great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my local hospital and be like, I need a shower chair, please. Thank you very much. I love it. Oh, it's a good idea. I never thought about a shower chair. My problem is if I had a shower chair in there, I'd probably be in there for a long time. I'd just be sitting with the.
Yeah.
I like ice baths and cold plunges, so I'd sit in there in cold water and just be like, oh, this feels so
That's
good.
nice. I've been wanting
Yeah.
to get into that.
Oh,
I have
you
a lot
should.
of like joint pain problems, and so that is something that I thought might help.
You 110% it will. 100% highly recommended. You can, they have the ice pod. You can get them for like $99. It's inflatable. That would be actually a good thing for you to take on your journey at the racetrack. It's hot, especially in August at VIR. Let's just be honest, it's going to be super humid. You can bring that, blow it up, fill it up with ice and water, and then when you get hot, you just jump in
Yeah.
it, jump out, and yeah,
Somebody had a pool at VIR. Did you see that?
that was my buddy and the legend, Ryder Davis and his dad, Casey Davis.
Oh
Big
my
shout out to
gosh.
them. Yes, yes, absolutely. And Ryder is, yeah,
Is that his name?
yeah, Ryder Davis. Yeah,
Wow, he was born into it.
yeah, he's super fast too. So, um, your mama says she wears vintage clothing, always the best dressed. Yes, I see her on TikTok and Instagram and all the videos. I love it.
Yeah,
It,
I
it
love
yeah.
vintage clothes. I actually had to buy leggings for BTR because I don't wear that type of clothing normally. It's like bell bottoms and a corduroy shirt. So I had to go out and buy that just to wear it on the track.
Let me ask you this: you being at BTR, Moto America, several races done past. Obviously, you signed some autographs and took some pictures. So, what's that feeling like?
So weird. It's just so weird. But I think because I have a lot of color, the little girls really love my bike. Oh my god. I don't
I
know if
hear
you
the
heard that.
thunderstorm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that hit like right in front of me. Don't worry though. I'll keep going even if I'll
Well,
stay for you guys.
yeah, we got this. Thank you.
Um, anyway, it was so cool to see all the younger girls coming up, and I let them sit on my bike, and I mean, it was way more than I expected. I bought a little Sharpie for autographs the beginning of the weekend, and it ran out of ink. To give you like a reference, it ran out. It was crazy.
So now you need to bring more Sharpies.
Yeah, I did not expect that many people for sure.
I love it. What a fantastic feeling, right? What an honor to be able to do that. And think about all the little girls' lives you're changing, right? And they're like, oh, she can do it. I want to do it, Daddy, Daddy. I want a bike. I want a bike. So that's what I love about the sport.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%. Um, are you a coffee drinker?
I am. My dad got me an espresso machine recently and I love it. So I definitely am a coffee drinker. I like the milk though. I like when it doesn't taste like coffee.
So you sweetener and sugar and all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what my wife is. She's like, this much coffee, this much creamer. It's good. Try it. And I'm like, tastes just like creamer. But yeah, I feel you on that. Um, Chili says, I don't want to try to pronounce your name because I'd probably absolutely murder it. So I'll just call you Chili. Do you have a diet for your daily routine? Also, another one before racing?
Yeah, so in normal life, I pretty much just do like calorie count, which I know is like not the best because you could just like pure junk as long as you eat a little bit of it. But that's what I do until like a couple days before the race, and then I eat intuitively because I don't want to be weak and lightheaded because I didn't eat enough right before the race. So I just a lot of protein, stuff like that. I don't worry about calories because a lot of the healthier, like peanut butter, meat, stuff like that has a lot of calories. So I just eat whatever I need to do to survive the weekend. And then hopefully I go back to my regular diet. Sometimes I don't.
Waffle House is on order
That's
100%
true.
all the
Yeah.
time. Waffle House is on order. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm trying to get sponsored by Waffle House, there's like not that good of a diet.
I'm gonna have to bring you some Waffle House to VIR that weekend.
Please.
Yeah, because I drive to and from every day. From the track to the house. You just after this, you just let me know what you want, and I'll absolutely.
Pecan
I
waffle.
got you. There you go. I got you 100%. Your dad says not a real coffee drinker.
Okay.
Oh my God. Everybody knows I listen to a ton of audiobooks. Like reading books, it puts me to sleep, right? Except for a shop manual for my motorcycles. Yeah, of course, then I'm all in, right? But audiobooks, I love them. Is that something you do too as well?
Yes. I drive 2 hours for work every day. So I listen to audiobooks there and back, and I run through them. My favorite, I love dog training psychology books, marriage psychology, parenting, and I like Jocko Willink. I don't know if you know who that is,
I
but he's a
do.
scary military man and he's bald and he's a really good leader. And so he's great at explaining leadership. And so I like his books too.
You crack me up. You're hilarious. Oh my God. So I'm listening to this book by Georgia Edie or whatever. This is the book I'm currently
Okay.
yeah, change your diet, change your mind. I listen to all kinds of audiobooks, of course, motorcycle racing audiobooks. David Goggins, he's like Jocko Wilkins, right? If you ever heard of David
Yeah,
Goggins.
another scary bald guy in the
Another
military.
scary ball guy in the military. Yeah, absolutely. 100% right on that. Yeah, but they're so motivational and they teach you to you can actually push yourself beyond what you think you can push yourself. You know, the whole thing is being comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
yeah, 110%. um Chili says you have a favorite track away from the US that you want to race or at least test at.
That's a good question. I don't know if this is a track, but I know that there's these trips in Thailand that you can go to and like ride all through Thailand. I'm sorry, I did not know
You're good.
there was going to be rain
No
interrupting the
worries.
podcast.
We're gonna do many of these together, so yeah, it's all good.
Normally, I love rain. I love racing in the rain, but not doing podcasts in the rain. Anyway, I would love to go to Thailand. I think it's the coolest place in the world, and that's my dream place. And I would love to be able to ride motorcycles through there.
Well, again, I got a uncle that lives in Thailand. He's got a Airbnb that he built that he rents out. So when you're ready to make that trip, you let me know. I'll get you a room. Uh, yeah, you just let me know. I got you. Again,
Thank you.
100%. You are welcome. My favorite track in the whole wide world is Cadwell Park. BSB is my favorite production racing. For me personally, it goes the Isle of Man TT, BSB, and then everything else is on equal terms below those two. So,
Why are those two the top for you?
so Isle of Man TT is obviously they race on public roads, 37 and a half miles. It's been going since 1907, blah, 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 blah. I can get in the whole thing of it, right? It's when I first seen it, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I was like, how awesome is this? Like, where else in the world can you close down public streets and do over 200 miles an hour on and 37 and a half miles per lap? You know, for that's one lap, 37 and a half miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we often use Alien references to Valentino Rossi, which, by the way, is, yes, the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Mark Marquez, Kevin Schwantz, Freddie Spencer, yada, yada. But to me, the real aliens is every man and woman that raced the TT or the Macau or the Northwest 200. Public, real road racing is just, to me, it's very unique in its own way, meaning that you'll never get a MotoGP rider, World Superbike rider, hardly any Moto American riders, pretty much any racer around the world that does closed circuit racing. Yeah, they'll go and watch and they're fans, but they won't do it, right? But then you'll have everybody that races the Isle of Man TT will absolutely go do short circuit racing, right? So there's something right here that just separates them. And to me, it's not the solo guys at the TT and women that race. It's the monkeys in the sidecar that blow my mind. The
Yes.
people that sit in
That
the
is
side, I'm like,
crazy.
y'all are plumb nuts, right? Yeah, it's just everything about it. The whole culture, the history. It was actually before it was MotoGP and 500 Grand Prix, when it was just Grand Prix racing, they used to race at the TT. And they changed it. Giacomo Agostini and Barry Sheen, they were big. We don't want to race at TT; it's so dangerous. Yada yada yada. So, yes, Chili Rossi tried it. He went out there. He didn't race the TT, but he did that parade lap. Lorenzo, there's been several MotoGP guys that's been out there, not racing but doing a parade lap. So if you haven't really got a chance to check it out, you should check it out. They have an app called TT Plus. It's a plug. It's not a sponsorship, but I love it so much. So it's free to download. And they have several. They have this series called Between the Hedges you can watch for free. And it's absolutely proper mega. So you need to download it. You need to watch it and check it out. It's absolutely amazing. So that's my spill on the TT. And as far as BSB goes, to me, it's the best production racing in the world. All you got to do, just watch the racing. It is by far the best racing hands down. Even over MotoGP, every lap it's like a battle constantly. Plus, the superbike class, they race with no electronics, none. There's no traction
Oh, really?
control. There's no anti wheelie,
Oh,
so
I
they
like
are
that.
properly road racing the way we used to do it back in the glory day of racing.
The
Right
way
when we had
BTR is doing it right now.
the way BTR, right? But they're on 230 horsepower motorcycle. They're doing the same thing, Jake Gagne and all them, but they ain't got no electronics.
Yeah,
Think
that's
about
so
that,
cool.
right? So that in itself to me is just proper mega. It's the best ever. So that's why I love BSB. They're absolutely amazing, and yeah, you guys should check it out. And on top of that, it's free to watch. You guys can go to Bennett'sBritishSuperbikes.com and enjoy it, my friends.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. I think you've converted me. I'll check it out.
You got to, and you're right. Chile, Closer to the Edge is a documentary that you need to actually watch. I think it's Amazon Prime has it.
Oh,
If
cool.
not, I have it on DVD. So if you can't find it, I'll bring you the DVD. You can borrow it, check
I
it
don't have
out,
a
watch it.
DVD player.
See, old school. Okay, well, you got a PlayStation, right? You can, yeah, you put it in your PlayStation. I don't have a DVD player neither, but I have it on DVD because it's an older documentary. But
Mhm.
it is, yeah, yeah, I'll hook you up. So, um, if you had one superpower, what would your superpower be?
Oh, wait, this is a really good question. And I feel like I've thought about this before, but now I don't remember my answer. Um, okay, actually, I don't have to think about it. Time travel, but without the butterfly effect. I just want to be able to go wherever I want, not have to worry about like, oh, if I talk to this person, it's going to cause World War III. I just want to like go to the 50s and go to a sock hop, and then go to the 1920s and drink alcohol when it's illegal, and like I just think that's so cool. I would love to time travel. That's what I think about on my 2-hour drives. When I'm not listening to audiobooks, is time travel. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, time travel would be absolutely amazing. That or teleportation, right? Because I could be like, "Hey, I want to go to the Ridge and watch Moto America this weekend." Boom, I'm there. Oh, I'm late for dinner. I'm going home. Boom, I'm back at home. Right? That'd be, yeah, kind of
That's
cool too.
that's a good one because you know what you can do is you can like teleport small amounts to where people wouldn't notice, and like I'd be on the starting grid ready to race and just like teleport every few feet. So it looks like I'm still racing normally, but I'm actually cheating via superpowers.
Pretty good, ain't it? I love it. Dwayne says she thought that through. The butterfly effect is something to take into account. That's a fact, right? I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
about that, but
No,
good
because I
point.
I think about it and then I get annoyed because I'm like, oh well, then I can't do this because this is going to happen, and I don't want to deal with that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, listen, if you could sit down with any historical figure, who would it be? If you could have dinner
Any
with any
historic figure.
historical figure.
Do they have to be dead?
No, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could be whoever.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like everybody would think I would say Elvis, but I don't really want to. Like, I I feel like he's
Uh,
talked to a lot of women in his life, and I don't think that he would really want to sit down and talk to me. Probably, you know what? Probably an Egyptian person because they were doing something back then. They were on to something. I don't know what they were doing, but something weird was going on back then. So I'd like to, take a gander and see what they were doing.
yeah, I'm big into like the Egyptian mythology and the Greek mythology. I'm into all that. So yeah, I feel you on that. I would love to go back and just sit back and see how did they build the pyramids. Let me go back and check
Yes.
it out. You know,
So my answer is just any like Egyptian civilian back then, not now.
I
Any,
love it. It don't matter who it is, anybody.
yes.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, this has been a whole lot of fun. We're an hour into this almost. I'm gonna have to get off here shortly because I got a business meeting I got to go to here in about 30 minutes. Um, I'm gonna give my shout outs, Brianna, sorry. I'm gonna let you give all your shout outs at the end. I'm gonna let you end the podcast. Just stay on with me for a minute afterwards so we can go ahead and schedule our part two. If anybody missed this at the beginning, you can go back as soon as I end this to my YouTube or my Facebook and rewatch it. And it'll be out everywhere tomorrow. And I'll tag you on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll send you a text message with all that, all the links and all that good stuff. So first things first, I just got to give a shout out to all my friends and my sponsors, Next Level Financial, BisonTrack.com, Chef Eats. Use the discount code Pin the Gas, save 10%. Chef Eats is absolutely amazing food. TST Industries, uh, one of my big sponsors is the Clothing Kings. You guys and girls can go to theclothingkings.co.uk and get all your Pin the Gas merch. I get a lot of questions on where did I get my beanie hat? Where did I get my soft shell jacket? That's exactly where I got it from. And you can get your own too. Uh, clothingkings.co.uk. Big shout out to SFL Mini GP. If you're interested in signing up for the event, they just put out the calendar. I'll actually post it on my socials. You guys can go to miniusasbk.com and sign up. I love that program. You don't need nothing, Brianna. You just register, pay your fee, show up. They provide the bike, the boots, the gloves, the leathers, everything. You just show up and ride and have fun. So, and actually, that's where a lot of the legends of our sports coming from is SFL Mini, whether it's Jersey or South Florida or Apex out in California. So, yeah, big shout out to RD Racing and my buddy Jake Marsh out there in the UK right here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's hard pointing backwards on the camera, but there it is. Vet2 Track for all my veterans. My buddy Jim has an awesome program. His whole thing is curing PTSD one lap at a time. So you sign up for the program, you come out, you're involved with motorcycles, you get on them, you go out, you help people on the team. It's absolutely amazing. So all my vets out there, vet2track.com. 64 degree racing. Tate has amazing two-piece undersuits. I got two custom two-piece undersuits, and hands down, they are my favorite undersuits. I do have a bison undersuit. I got a one-piece, but I flop between the two. You got people that like a one piece, some people like two pieces. I go both ways, but I'm always in my 64 degree racing because it's absolutely amazing. So if you guys are interested in it, guys and girls in an undersuit, and I always recommend when you show up, bring more undersuits than you do clothes
Yes.
because you don't want to show up with just one and everybody walking around when you walk up to them going like this. Yeah. So, yeah, she knows. We know. You guys know. 64degreeracing.com. And on that note, I got another good friend, Aliki, at venom.com. You guys can go to venomsport.com. She sent me this shirt right here, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So, there's another brand of undersuit you guys can go to. And all my California friends, if you're out there racing the CRA and all that good stuff, you guys can go to Racer411 at race/CRA.com and sign up for the Racer 411 program. It's absolutely amazing. Um, I need everybody to go to roadracingworld.com and donate to the air fence. It's imperative that we have the air fences. I don't
Yes.
care if it's $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever it is. We thank you so much because without the air fence, big shout out to all the corner marshal workers. Without you guys and girls out there in the ambulance, guess what? We're not having fun at any racetrack. So
Mm-hmm.
please, thank you so much. Roadracingworld.com, donate air fence. Thank you. Um,
Yes.
Big shout out to BTR, Build Train Race Program. Everybody I know that love BTR, such a huge fan. And if anybody's making it out to the ridge, please make sure you stop by BTR, get your pictures, get your autographs, cheer on all the ladies. Let's go. I love it. Let's go. KYT helmets, K-Tech suspension, Ghetto Customs for all your custom body work. I got three of my friends that make custom graphics for your motorcycles, Dripping Wet, REB Graphics, and GRG Graphics. You're not going to go wrong ordering from any one of those guys. They're absolutely proper mega at what they do. Big shout out to Woodcraft, Mark 10 Motorsports, Free Hug Racing, Nicole Polyich Photography, Stick Boy, Adrenaline Engineering, Pit Lane Moto. All my friends, or if you know anybody that's been in a wreck and listen, they're paralyzed, they might have lost an arm or a limb. You can still get back out there on the motorcycle. I'm going to tell you exactly how right now. You can go to tbexusaexperience.org, O-R-G, sign up. They'll get you out there, they'll put you on a bike, and they'll show you, listen, you can ride again. Trust me. Go to the website, sign up, let's go. And
They're
last but not
fantastic.
least, yeah, uh, CW Moto. Big shout out to my boy Luca Allen, all the way from BSB, that's racing in Moto America with CW Moto team this year. So yeah, let's go. Brianna, it's been an absolute honor. Tell everybody where they can find you on social medias, where the nearest Waffle House you're going to be at, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's been so fun. This is amazing. I love talking to people, and so this is fun that it's recorded too. So I am mostly active on Instagram, but if you really just refuse to get Instagram, I am on Facebook too, and I post some stuff. My name is Brianna Cutler on Facebook, and then Instagram, it's Brianna_Cutler 35. And remember 35 because of Elvis, obviously. So Brianna Cutler 35 on Instagram. I post a ton of stuff. I want to say thank you to the Sea Cadets. As we talked about previously, not only was I a cadet in the program, I became their first sponsor that they've ever had, never sponsored anyone, and they just decided to jump into the world of motorsports, which is crazy. So they are very generous. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the discipline and the courage and the confidence that they taught me at a young age. So thank you, Sea Cadets. Thank you, Handlebar Vinyl, for making my motorcycle look very pretty again after the before mentioned crash. I was very sad because it was very ugly after the crash, and he just redid the whole thing. It looked beautiful. And I can't say Waffle House yet, but I do want to say thank you to Redline Fitness for helping me recover from the Waffle House, and getting me a nice motorcycle racing aimed fitness plan. He literally makes, plans for motorcycle racers for fitness. So thank you for helping me burn off all the pecan waffles before the race. So I'm just super thankful. And then I also want to say thank you to Motion Pro for making a tool that I didn't know I needed. Every time I go on their website, I'm like, what is that for? That's stupid. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need it. I didn't know they made that. And so anyway, that's it for me. I wish I could be saying thank you, Waffle House, but maybe if they email me back, then we can make that happen.
You know what? It'll happen. You just positive, keep putting it out there, and yeah, it'll absolutely happen. Well, listen, Brianna, it's been so much fun to have you on. It's been an absolute honor to sit down with you today and get you in the hot seat. You guys stay tuned. Part 2 is coming up. Me and her are going to schedule that here in 1 second. Before I end this, I just got to say nothing but love to all the guys and girls that watch this podcast. I would not be able to do this. It would not be possible without all my friends coming on, such as the legend sitting in front of us right now and everybody else that's been on and everybody else that's coming on. So thank you guys and girls so much. If you have not yet, please go hit that like and subscribe and the ding ding and the dong dong and the choo choo and all that good stuff that goes along with it. Thank you. Anyway, on that note, is there anything you want to say before I end this?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say the same exact thing that you said. But I did want to say thank you guys. I was a track day rider 1 year ago from today. So this is really crazy to me that all of a sudden now I'm on a podcast and people wanted to show up and listen. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, at least if it was just, I thank you for showing up. And that means a lot to me. And if I see you guys at the track, please come say hi and teach me. I love advice. I love learning. So if anybody has any suggestions, I will gladly take them.
There you guys go. Let's go. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor to get the legend, Brianna Cutler, number 35. Don't forget that. Elvis fan, Waffle House, all that good stuff. Waffle House, I know you're listening. If not, I'm going to send you this podcast. So you got nothing but to listen to it. And on that note, we are out of here. Just stay on with me for 1 second.
Okay. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.